The government has downplayed fears that the country is at risk of defaulting on its debt following the negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economy. National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Yatani says the current debt levels are manageable, but admits revenues have taken a hit due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's get more from our very own Dennis Otieno.
Early last week, Zambia became the first African nation to default on its foreign debt since the start of the coronavirus crisis. With international bonds and huge Chinese loans, economic observers had insinuated Kenya could be headed the same way. But according to the National Treasury, nothing could be further from the truth.
Our debt situation is highly sustainable. It's sustainable enough. We've never defaulted, and we can't default because about the pride and the integrity, the dignity of our country. We have to pay what we owe other countries or creditors.
As at August this year, the country's stock of debt had hit 7.1 trillion shillings from 6 trillion shillings at the beginning of the year. A battered economy, coupled with dwindling domestic revenues and high debt repayment level, has seen the country struggle to meet its debt obligations.
We are firm. Our fiscal framework is healthy, but the resources revenues are lagging behind. In terms of every month, we are realizing less revenue than the previous one.
Kenya recently announced it would consider taking up the G20 coronavirus debt relief initiative to ease the debt burden. This largely due to pressure from the Bretton Woods. The government is also banking on the austerity measures introduced last year to cut down on spending, saving nearly 172 billion shillings annually.
We'll also be running on the MDAs that they need to prepare for the very lean time and have whatever they're doing on targeted expenditure.
We cannot afford to overburden the future generation. This calls for reduction or reducing government expenditure, prudence in use of public resources, and expanding the tax base.
Yatani spoke during the launch of the 2021-2022 financial year budget hearings held at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi. The National Treasury insists the country has to live within its means, but it still has a huge task of ensuring it doesn't impose more taxes to the already burdened taxpayers in the country. Dennis Otieno, Citizen TV.